a good class.
So I feel comfortable walking around.
Perfect. I guess that go for it. Yeah.
Raji, you have to see the video because
Yeah. Yes.
they fix in a place and then they start talking.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
start recording.
And away from this light.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is good.
Will it be
Yeah.
audible when you record?
This is good. Okay. Hello everyone. Good morning.
Good morning. Good
And
morning.
it's a nice Monday morning. So I'm here basically, I'm Dr. Rajshri, and I'm here to talk about, what I do. And my primary business is online, so it fits today's topic of businesses online no longer an option. So just to give you a brief about myself, I'm basically a biotechnologist, a scientist who then went into entrepreneurship. So if you really look at what I used to do and what I'm doing today, it's very, very different. I went to Michigan State University in the US. This was way back in 93 to 96. And then I came back to India with the objective of, contributing to research in the industry, in the biotech industry. And I worked for a few premier biotech companies. In 2005, I had this itch to go back to school and to do my PhD. And so while I was, doing my PhD, I got a chance to interact with many students. And it just happened that way, where I would understand that in a class of about 50 students, only about 5 of them would be like top of the class or with whatever you were teaching in a group class setup, And what came to me is that the future of education is going to be more personalized. And we can reach out more to students through personalization, where we are customizing programs for them. Every student, every person has a unique learning curve. So in 2008, this idea came to me to start these classes online. So this was when I was doing my PhD. And very similar to what you are doing, I had a day job. I used to go to the university during the day, and I used to do research. And my company Catalyze was started at that time. So it was growing very organically. The initial years were a lot of frustration because the net connections were poor. People were not adept with technology. Nobody, at least in India, knew what Skype was. So we had like a whole a Word document of system requirements, which we used to send to clients. But even then, we used to get inquiries for online. Basically because parents could see the benefits of online learning. One is, of course, you save the time, the energy, and you don't have to worry about travel. The children can connect with teachers online and learn. So what we are doing is live interactive classes online, where we have a set of faculty who come online and teach the children. So the other benefits of online learning are, the safety of the child. You don't have to worry about the safety, physical safety at least. The third aspect is customization and personalization is possible. You can also use the flipped class approach. What we call is the flipped class approach, where it's a tutor-led, student-directed kind of a learning, where the students are urged to ask questions and make it more interactive. And you also have the ability to use technology in terms of animations and videos to make difficult concepts easily understandable and reachable to students. So this was way back in 2008, right? And then since then, technology has just boomed. So in 2008, we had all these problems where, people did not know what Skype was, we had to educate them, and blah, blah, blah. It went on like that for a few years, And then in 2014, we saw a huge shift in the way people would perceive online learning, how they would, all the questions that they had, earlier, they would know the answers to them already, right? So the kind of questions that they asked changed. Earlier the questions used to be more about technology, like what kind of technology do you use, are you sure the net connection is okay, do you have power backup, all those things. Now what the questions are more, do you have excellent faculty, do you offer, what kind of personalization do you offer, things like that. So there was a huge shift in the way people started thinking. So in 2014, when I saw this shift, what I decided is I'm going to put all my energies into this now, So I did not take up a full-time job, so I said, okay, I'm now going to use my time to develop this further. So what we did is we started a Facebook page, and then we went digital. We went digital marketing. We do Google AdWords. We do a little bit of offline marketing as well. But the whole concept of online learning became more accessible to students. So today what we are doing is we have several programs that we are doing. One is in the school education, in the school space. We are catering to after-school help. It could be specific topics, or it could be assignment help, it could be doubt clearing, or it could be complete portion coverage. So people come to us with these requirements, both for Indian as well as international curricula. And we have audience students from all over the globe today. USA is a very big market, UK, Europe is a very big market, and each country has its own curriculum that they follow. And so we have specialized faculty for that. We have now put in our resources to train the faculty in these programs so that they are able to give more of an essence to the student. So the one area is of course the school education, where there is after school help. But we are also, taking in-school classes in a few schools. In a city called Bangalore, which is about 350 kilometers from here, we are taking in-school classes for a foundation that is actually an inclusive school. About 80% of the students in that school are, come from affluent background, and about 20% come from less privileged background, and these children have a tendency to lag behind a bit because they don't have their parents are not educated, so they don't have the backing at home. Nobody's working with them at home, to enrich the concepts or give them enough work. So what we are trying to do here is we are trying to bridge the gaps. So we are taking in-school classes for these children, and we are working with them to bridge these gaps in learning that they have, and to give them more of a support so that this 20% can then become on par with the other 80%. So that is one of the things we are doing. Program-wise, we do a lot of gap bridging because, like I said, how do I say this? Each one has a unique learning curve. So what is maybe algebra is easier for somebody, but trigonometry is easier for somebody. So we understand, the gaps that every child has, and we try to bridge it with providing more support. The other aspect that we are also into is online programs for competitive exams such as SATs, APs, ACT, IELTS, TOEFL, and also the Indian exams, which is the medical entrance and the engineering entrance exams. So this is what we do in a nutshell. And coming back to today's topic, if you look at business online no longer an option, it is one of the aspects that I would like to mention here is, if you really look at the journey that I have taken and how online learning was considered 10 years ago and how it is now, I think this is no longer an option.
Absolutely.
And the other aspect is we also provide a lot of work from home opportunities for women. So that is a huge, contribution, I would say. As we are all aware, women, including more women in the task force, contributes directly to the economy and to the GDP, right? So in that way, we are contributing to the economy and the GDP. Many of my teachers are also admin staff, so they do, do a bit of the class coordination and other aspects of management, We also have women working from home making the sales calls. When we get an inquiry, they contact the customer and they find out what is the requirement. We have a HR manager working from home who is involved in recruitment. So it's like we have a whole gamut of people, all women who are working from home. So literally we have a virtual organization, and that is a matter of great pride for me, because I remember that when I was, back in the industry and I took this hard decision to go back to school, to leave my job and go back to school, I would feel so bereft, oh my God, this professional side I'm giving away, And today I just want to do that so that women who can't go out and, do work because of family reasons or whatever are able to contribute their professional side in some way to our organization. So that's what we do in a nutshell. If you have any questions, then I'm Any questions?
If I may ask, if someone has a totally offline business model right now, what is the first baby step you would recommend them?
It really depends on the business. Like, are you talking about retailing or are you talking about education?
Service industry, maybe.
Service industry. Okay. It really depends on the industry. Like, you really have to find what is going to be your online customer take, and also you might have to tweak your business a bit, to meet those requirements or standards. It's always a good idea to draw a business plan.
Perfect.
Yeah, so that you're putting down all your thoughts, you're evaluating, what are the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, and how to go about it, because it really serves as a roadmap, as to what you need to do next. How am I going to go about doing this? So,
Thank you.
any other questions? I think then I'll offer the floor to Meenal.
You just press this. Okay. This is video. And when you press video, it's on, and you can take few photos of yourself. I would like it horizontally.
Thanks.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's a Monday morning. Yeah, it's really great. Thank you so much. My name is Meenal Jaiswal, and my background is I did my MBA Finance, and then I was a finance girl. I was in project finance for a decade, and then I moved to my childhood love, that was photography, and I became a photographer. So I was a lifestyle photographer. And of late, I'm focusing more on the niche of corporate portfolios. Because when I decided to be a photographer, I really chased the best photographers in the world for their mentorship, work with them and studied with them, learn from them. And I realized what is there in the best, that is my vision, like to bring the best of the world to the country, And when I see in today's time and age, the images people have online, though people aspire to travel a lot and work a lot, it's not up to that international grade. And in today's time and age, our attention span, and it's a fact, it's based on research, our attention span is less than the attention span of a goldfish.
Okay.
A goldfish attention span is 9 seconds. A human being attention span is 8 seconds. That's all. So when you talk to your husband, to your wife, to your friend, after 8 seconds they are switched off. They're literally switched off. You must have something very interesting for them to hold their attention. So if it's in a visual medium, it's 3 seconds rule. It's still less. If you're talking to them, it's 8 seconds. In visual, it's like 0.5 seconds to 3 seconds. So like today's a scroll word. It's tons of stuff. You don't want to miss on anything, but you won't stick to anything. So you just scroll. Ah. So if you stop that ah thing, you have got their attention. Otherwise, it was as good as junk for them. Yeah, we all do this, not for them, but we all do this because there is so much information being created. I mean, the information that's created on YouTube, I think it will take you like a few thousand years. That's the information uploaded on a day. I mean, who has that bandwidth, you know? Unless I'm an eternal human being, I don't know how much can I consume. So all this is creating a lot of, there is competition. There's a lot of competition. Everyone wants to grab your eyeballs. Everybody wants to have your ears. So how do you do that? How do I, as a profile photographer, attain that? So I have created a 9-step, and then I also have a click model. So what do I do in that? And it's something that you can try out with your photographer. It's something that you can review your images with, you know. So I want you, when you leave this hall, you have something concrete rather than, we all know we have to be online. I mean, thank you, and I can sit. You know. So we all know, if we are here, we have that intelligence and discretion to understand that, like it's not an option. Yesterday I was talking to my cousin and I realized, we were talking about internet and the speed, net speed and stuff. And I said, I had my internet connection in 1999. So for the past 20 years, and I am one of the early Gmail members, like my Gmail ID is like 14 and a half years old, you know, when they were in the beta stage. So from Brazil it went to someone in India, and like from US to Brazil, then Brazil to India, and that's how I got into it. I got an invite. So I'm a nerd. I was very nerdy earlier, very, very nerdy. You know, you give me computer, you give me logic, you give me programs to type. It was very good. And my dad being in IIT, and it's a premier engineering institute, we were very like tech-driven family. You know, so my dad gifted me camera at 5. No father those times even let you touch anything electronic. Those times, you know, people were not allowed to even touch television, forget a camera. They might break or whatever. So he was very, I mean, in my childhood, we were given Walkmans to record our school lessons. So this is not the norm. I mean, India was developed, but not everybody was that privileged as I lived. So, yeah, coming back to the tech part. So it's been there, now the speed is so good, everybody has a smartphone, everybody has high speed access, and everybody is facing competition crunch. So how do you deal with it? So first of all, whatever is your offline persona, try to represent that online. Okay? So moment I show this, we are in Taj Vivanta, and I show images of a different hotel. Okay, and you come here. It could be bad, good, or just like that, but you'll feel this is not what they show.
Yeah.
You know, you feel cheated somewhere. You don't like it. You know, we buy products online. They look different. What comes in is like, oh my God, what is this? That's the same thing with the person. That whatever you are showing, who you are, so you have to understand yourself, your values. Like for my photo shoot, values are so crucial, that your values must be reflected through your images. Because that kind of audience, we all connect to the people we like, right? Like people, simple. So we like people who are like us, birds of same feather flock together.
Right.
So you want to have this, and in today's selfie age, what's happening is you are differently today. And you want to project somebody else. And when the people in person, if they meet you, they're like, who is this lady? I don't know her. You know? It's like a beautiful teaser, a beautiful trailer of a movie, and then you go and watch and you're like, oh my God. They cheated us. So what you can do is, first thing, like this is very crucial, get your values. What are you here for? What are you standing for? What is it as a person that you have an offering? Then your products come. You know, usually people just think, oh, this is the product, this is the product. No, sorry. Take a step back and see you are the product. You're the product. And once you have settled that part, then understand who's your target audience. You have a price point, you have a service or a product, and then understand your target audience. Because everyone speaks a different language. So if I speak English, I'm talking to an English audience. If I'm speaking German, I'm talking to a German audience. As simple as that. You don't, it cannot be Greek and German to the person, right? The target audience must feel, this is what it is. This is my go-to person. Once you have done that, then you create an image. Image is worth 1,000 words. Why do they say that? Because you don't need words. That image says it all. You know, like Obama, Michelle Obama. Oh God, image of hers. You don't need to know anything. You just don't need to know anything. You just know who she is. You know, you just know. It's not like a common person's image. She's a very simple woman, but a lot of power she exudes. A lot of power she exudes. So you do that. And so what are the 4 things that you have to keep in mind? Because I want to make this session worth your time. So I've called it CLICK. How do you spell CLICK?
C-L-I-C-K.
Okay, since there were 2 C, I removed the 1 C. So it is C-L-I-K, okay? So it is still CLICK without an additional C. So what is C? First C. First C is the consistency. So whatever is your value system, what kind of attire you don, whatever kind of backgrounds you're going for, everything. You know what kind of impression you are creating, what kind of perception you are creating through this exercise. First step is consistency. So keep it same. What do you think will happen if Coca-Cola changed the label every country they went to? You don't know, you think it's a fake brand, you know. It's a 150 years old company, still they chose not to change anything about it. Some person in those times must have hand painted it. But that's what they are sticking to, the same logo, same style, same pattern. Their font is patented, everything, you know, Coca-Cola, McDonald's. You know it, I mean, even it's written, even written in the language that you don't follow, you know it's a big place. You just know it, right? You know it, you just know it. That's what branding is. So first step is consistency. In all the platforms, stay consistent. Second is L. What is L for? L is for likability. Even if you're consistent, but I don't like you, I don't like you. I don't want to have business with you. So if you have a business, you must be likable to me. You know, you cannot be snooty. Some people try to get creative at the price of being likable. You know? You have to be likable and creative. You cannot have it diverse. They go together. They always go hand in hand. So you have to be likable. So then again, you know, you have to be likable by whom? You have to be likable by your target audience, and then you're pouting, and then you're doing like this and that. Your audience doesn't like you. Maybe they do. Depends on your target audience. You know, so it's what you are selling, what you are standing for, what's your brand for. So many times you may dilute your brand. If you are going, okay, I was here, I was having fun with friends. Good, everyone should have fun with friends, but don't give wrong signals to your tribe. They're following you. They look up to you. You are a goddess to them. So be likable by the people you want to be liked by. Getting it?
Yeah.
And understanding, you know, it's so common, like we make a mistake here. Then is I, that is integrity. That's where the values come from. And I just like, for me, this is the most crucial. That's I. Each one of us have our own value system. That makes us who we are. Externally, it's a gift of God, gift of our parents. But internally, who we are, that's who you are as a person. It has got nothing to do with who you are externally. So after that likable point, then what I'm looking for is that connect. integrating. Okay, I go to this person, she stands for this. I go to this person, she stands for that. And every time I go to her, she's there with her values. And you know, her brand value goes up once she's clear about her values, because she's my go-to person. You know? So if it's a burger, it's a McDonald's. You know, it's a drink, it's a Coca-Cola or Pepsi. So when I think about chips, I can think about 10 chips. Okay, maybe Pringles. You know? So it's like top of mind, my mind recalls. So if I have this issue, like we all have, if I have that, I have like circle of friends, and if I have a financial challenge, I go to a particular person. If I have an emotional challenge, I go to a particular person. If I have a business challenge, I go to a particular person. So we all do that, you know. So if you want to eat nice raw food, you go one place. You want to enjoy Italian, go to another place. You don't go to a vegan place and say, oh, can I have some Italian? No, I'm not working. Don't give confused signals to your audience. They will get confused, and your brand will get diluted. What are you into? You know, so that's the integrity part. And the fourth is K, and that stands for knowledge. Your image must exude knowledge, that you know what you're talking about, you know? If you're coming to me and investing money with me, you know that it's well taken care of. I'll be able to deliver what I say. It's not like and then you just feel cheated, you feel, you know, changed. So that's another thing. So this is the click model. Go through your images that you have online and just check this. Is it consistent? Is it likable? Does it have integrity? Does it show that I'm knowledgeable? Thank you so much for your time. Hope this session was good. Any question? Any questions? Thank you so much for your time. Namaste. Yeah, sure. Do you have a phone? Even mine is like to the brain. They're
recording.
Okay, I just wanted like a short
Maybe-
clip.
maybe
Do you have
like-
space on your phone?
No, I'm sorry.
I can do it.
Okay, oh, that would be great. Just a short clip, so I can put it out there. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Woo. I remember the movie Coming to America, when
Oh.
Eddie Murphy opened the window. Good morning, my neighbors. And someone was like, shut up. He was so excited about being in America, and he just had to open up the windows and just might as well greet the entire neighborhood. So hello, my name is Naomi Osemedua, and I am from beautiful Nigeria, West Africa. I am the founder of the Women with Stories International, but as I told her, I was like, I also have a day job. And so my day job as a global media strategist is to teach you to go from local to global. I believe the world we live in is so closely connected. And my journey started in October 2015 while nursing my baby at home. I found a live streaming app called Periscope. And at that time, there was no Facebook Live, there was no Instagram Live. I was also always the last on social media. I didn't have a clue. Setting up Twitter was username and password. I couldn't even do that. I had to get someone to do that for me. That was how clueless I was when I started my journey. But I was so intrigued at how, with the touch of a button, I could connect with the world. I was like, there's something here, and I'm gonna stay here. So of course I had the option of, waiting for people on my continent who I looked up to kind of like follow them, because I was searching for all the mentors and coaches, and no one was there. So I quickly found a community called Perry Newbies in the US, and I joined the community. In a short time, I became a mentor, because I became that person who started helping others go live on Periscope and what they needed to know. I started with just inspiring people. I never imagined it would be a business until someone reached out to me to say, how much do you charge? I want to know how to go live and do videos. And one of the things I find really fascinating, according to Forrester Research, 1 minute of video is equivalent to 1.8 million words. 1 minute. And so I talk a lot about video, and it will shock you to know that I am in India for the first time, sharing my work at the Women with Stories and receiving an award because someone watched me on Instagram Live. That's how I got here. Niharika, you know, and I had some moment with her a couple of days ago to say, please remember, if you can, tell me what I was saying the day you watched me, because I am one, and I'm glad you know, Mina, you shared so much about the things I believe in, integrity, value, you know, and showing up and giving knowledge to your tribe. And so it was one of those days I had committed to coming on live at a certain time, but I was busy, I was cooking, and I just was like, no, I said I was gonna be there, I will be there, values. And so I showed up, oily skinned, all tired, and being a very, you know, spontaneous content creator, I decided to create that day's content around my day. And so I was teaching about it never has to be perfect. Look at me. I'm just not having those perfect days, you know, perfect hair, perfect makeup. You don't have to wait for that, because a lot of people wait for that perfect moment to go live. Oh, I need a phone stand. Oh, I need lights. I need hair. I need makeup. And you end up not doing anything. And you have so much to offer. And so I would tell people, it doesn't matter what you can do and what you know. If you're not being seen and heard, it's as good as you not existing in the first place.
Right.
And I think there's so many amazing people doing great stuff, but we're not seeing them. And one of the quotes I shared earlier was, the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men, good women to do nothing. And so a lot of people have stayed behind, oh, I'm shy, I'm afraid, what will people say, what if I make mistakes? And I'm like, it's okay. We don't want to connect with perfect. We want to connect with you as a human.
Right.
And so that's the core of the work I do as a global media strategist. I teach you how to go and just take all that you offer, not just to your local community, but a global one. Today I have clients in over 12, probably about 14 countries now, from the comfort of my home in Africa. I wrote a book in just about 4 months of my journey, and it became an Amazon bestseller. And it was called Socially Speaking, My Periscope Miracles. And I shared in that little book how I was, you know, inspiring the world from Africa using Periscope.
Love it.
It's so powerful, and I think now more than ever, with so much going on in our world, we need more voices. We need more positive influences in the social media and the online space, because our kids are hanging out there. So when I meet people who are like, oh, I'm afraid, I'm shy, and I'm like, you're part of the problem. Because it's two ways, there is no middle zone. If you're not a part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And so if we complain about a lot of, you know, wrong and negative and very evil content online, on social media, what are you doing? Where is your positive content? Because for as long as you stay silent and just complain, they keep uploading all the negative stuff. And then our kids get to see all of that. And then we're wondering, how come we have such a perverted and very sick world today? Too many good people are not doing anything. Too many good people are hiding behind, you know, perfection. What if I fail? What if people laugh at me? I've had my earrings fall off when I was live. I've had power go out when I was live. And I kept going. It's like, can you hear me? Can you see me? Oh, you can see my teeth. So let's keep going. Because we have all sorts go on. I mean, in my country, sometimes power goes out, and before the generator goes on, I can't stop the session. I keep going. And that has connected such a powerful audience to my work as a media strategist. And being in India, it's just so life-changing for me, because it's proof that it works. It works. And so I would charge you today that whatever it is you're doing, going online, putting your business, your brand, your stories online is no longer an option. We need you. And not just your local community, the world needs you. And today I hope that you will take a determined step to take your business from local to global. Wow. Thank you. Oh, and there we go. And there we go. The power is out.
But we can still see your teeth.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Do you have any questions, I think we have a bit of time. Maybe take one question or two. Anything? Yes.
How do I take photography global?
And yes, so I was really fascinated with you yesterday because we had a bit of session. So I was a model yesterday, and we had a session, and I was particularly intrigued because, like you rightly said, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And so with your pictures, you can tell stories, and you can actually show up online and share your work. And I've been like, girl, you need to tell me when this goes public, because it's so beautiful. She's been capturing images of all sorts of people, and for her, it's, you're beautiful. There is no definition. You don't have to be a certain size, a certain shape. You don't have to have a certain hair. Like right now in my country, there's an epidemic of women bleaching their skin because they feel they have to be.
We share the same craziness.
Because they feel they have to be white to be accepted. Intentionally, I came with my natural hair because back home, I told her, I said, this Filipino hair, it's big market. This is what people are buying. They spend hundreds and thousands of naira to get, human hair. I'm not against it if that works for you, but at some point I used to wear it, but it got to the point where I'm like, you know what, I have beautiful hair, and I'm so proud of it, and I'm just gonna show it off. I don't expect her to take off her hair and go get African hair and put on her hair, just because she feels less than enough. So taking your business online is so powerful, and there's so much we can do together. Like I'm not even letting you go because I need your skills, and we can definitely work together deeper on how you can take your work to the world. I would be more than delighted to help you because it's beautiful, and we need that message. I know.
Now we have to have you in my portfolio.
Yeah. And it was so funny because I walked in, I was looking for my girlfriend, and someone just beckoned to me. I'm like, okay. And I met her, and she says, I need to take your picture. Okay, all right. So it's been amazing connecting with her and so many amazing women. I'm so excited about the work you do because learning really, it's global. From India, you are able to have clients from different parts of the world. And that's a beautiful thing about taking your business online. There is no restriction. You don't have to feel like you are in India and just service the Indian market. You can service the world. 7.5 billion people, that's your market. But be sure to identify your unique person, their pain, and then offer the world the pleasure that you have to offer. And that's something I teach as well, the person, pain, and pleasure.
When we see the difference that we are making to the children,
Yes.
and we see the difference that we are making to them, that is the true gratification.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
amazing.
Absolutely. So thank you so much. And we got some amazing, beautiful kids come in. Awesome. Is the next session starting?
We should get photos.
Okay, so let's get photos, yes. Kids, come join us. Just come, you're in here already. We'll take you.
Keep your bag still.
We'll
And you
take
can
you.
join
And
join
ladies,
there.
always join us.
Say good
Just the
morning.
class photo.
Say good
Come
morning.
on. Come.
Your group speaking?
Yeah, that's why I'm trying. Who's going to
Come, sweetheart.
Children
Come on. Hey, you're so gorgeous. Come on.
Yes.
Absolutely, thank you. Oh, gorgeous. Pretty.
Only do one with everyone, and then we'll get one with everyone. With everyone, with the audience. Get one with everyone. Excuse me.
So, we can hand some over to him. He can help. Oh, he has to call the professional.